Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the latest and newest episode of the fall season, of course, of Five Plus Football's First and Goal podcast. I'm FPF Hall of Famer Brent Bodkin.
And I'm Quaysie Maule.
Eight-time All-Star. Come on, you got to say eight-time All-Star, eight-time champion. Come on now, man of the people.
True.
Coach.
Well, it sucks. Unfortunately, I could have been the 9-time champion, but I lost both my championships last season. But it is what it is.
Choker. Not joking. All right, so as you can see on your screen, it's a new season. Like I said, I messed it up in the intro, but fall season is here. New season. Goodbye to the spring/summer season. Congrats to all those teams that won a championship last time we joined you. We did our finals preview. So again, congrats to all those teams that won championships that Quaysie was talking about. Again, new season, new look for our website. Is coming up actually today. New look for the podcast as well. New design, new vibe, new everything. So let's hop into it. I'm excited. The new year is here. So fall division, obviously one of the smaller leagues or smaller divisions, I guess you could say, in FPF, right? The winter is usually the biggest. The spring/summer, you get a pretty good amount of teams. The fall, obviously, with players going back to tackle, players going back to flag, like for the respective schools and whatnot. It's usually a smaller turnout, I guess you could say. But I mean, listen, there's over 100 teams, I believe, if I counted correctly. And now my math is never great. Not counting FPF Junior, which, by the way, FPF Junior has 5 different divisions, so that's awesome. But not counting FPF Junior, I think we have 116 teams.
Yeah, you're right.
Between men's and women's and co-ed and all that, 5v5, 6v6. So 116 is nothing to spit at, if you will, right? So we're ready for some ball.
Exactly. You actually, like, for us, it's kind of surprising, right? Because I think in the winter we had like 330 teams or around that much in the winter. But like, if you still think about it, 116 teams is still a lot of teams to be in a league.
For sure.
Like average league, maybe they'll have maybe 20, 30 teams if they're lucky.
Yeah.
116 teams is still a lot compared to like, well, here and just other places,
No, 100%, dude. So a little bit of a change this year. So again, we had the tier system that we had the last couple of years in the fall. So for 6v6, it's 5 tiers. For women's, a bit of a change though. So usually women's, I know last year we introduced women's C. We've had usually women's 1 or women's 2, women's A, women's B in the past. Like I said, in the spring season, we introduced women's C. This year though, again, because a lot of the females are playing for schools and what have you. So there's only 1 women's division this year. There are 8 teams, 6 make the playoffs. We're going to get into that in a few moments to break down all the teams that are in there. But again, only one women's division. So it's the best of the best that FPF has to offer. You're still going to see a lot of the familiar names that are playing in usually women's 1 or women's A, women's B, women's 2. So again, only 8 teams, but the competition is really going to be fierce. 5v5, again, just like the summer, 2 divisions. We have competitive and intermediate. So that should be good. Co-ed, same thing as the summer. Co-ed 1, co-ed 2, co-ed 3. So those divisions are pretty full. And I'm expecting a lot of fun, a lot of excitement starting tomorrow night.
Yeah, it should be a blast. It's always nice when flag gets back. And I feel like a lot of people got a bigger break, right? Compared to the last season where I feel
a one-day break
was like on the Saturday or the Sunday, and then we started back on the Monday,
On the Monday, yeah, exactly.
So this year, everyone, I think believe there was like a 2 weeks period everyone kind of got off,
Yeah,
you had maybe an injury or you're kind of just wanted to rest and maybe not play flag because it's still a long season. Young players are playing 3-4 teams, so to kind of get away from the sport, take some time off, and then now we're gonna go right back at it.
There you go, 100%, and we are back at it indeed. So I guess so. Let's hop into the original, the 6-on-6, 6v6. Pardon me, to kind of put FPF on the map. Do you want to start tier 1, tier 5? Where do you want to jump?
Let's go with the new tier. Let's go with tier 5, right? So tier 5 is something that it's new. The last previous seasons we only went to tier 4. So this year we actually have a tier 5. I feel like you're going to see a lot of teams that were playing in Division F, right? We had Division F. I feel like we had Division E or Division F?
Division F.
Yeah,
right?
We had F. Division F is basically tier 5. You see a lot of the familiar names that are kind of back that played in Division F. So we have like CAS 67, very good football team, Vengeance, Jamaican bobsled team we kind of talked about last year.
Yeah.
And then we have also some new teams or some new names.
PSTM too.
Yeah, PSTM. Yeah, exactly. We have some new names. You have Airbnb. Oh, sorry. I was like Airbnb. You have TGS, Puff
Yeah.
Puff Pass, Illegal Alien. So you have some new teams there. I didn't really kind of look at the rosters, but I would assume that most of these teams are pretty much brand new teams coming into the league, especially when you're starting off a new name and stuff like that. You have shockers as well. But yeah, very interesting. One thing I did also want to say is that I'm hoping a very good football team gets better at football this season, because I think it's one of
Yeah.
the teams that I think it's been 3 seasons now that they're there, and I don't think last year they won. I don't think last season they won a game. I think the previous before that, I think they won one. But hopefully they kind of get their fitting in early on. Maybe they play versus some teams that are not used to the concepts of FPF right away, and they can kind of sneak some games there and try to win. Try to go like 5-5 and make the playoffs for this season.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Hopefully, I mean, again, a little bit of experience under the belt, like you said, right? So, I mean, hopefully now that could translate into some wins. I know. So, looking at Puff Puff Pass, so they got a couple of vets on the team, right? So they got Kevin Donnet, or Donnet. I should know how to pronounce the last name by now. My apologies, dude. Plays obviously with Ben and Anthony Drysdale. Plays with James Drysdale. He's a snapper, slot receiver, if you want. Former rusher. He's a great player. He's a veteran, so he's on that team. I'm looking Stefano Spagnola. I've seen him play before. He's been in the league for a little bit. So Chris Colantonio is also a veteran, plays with Kevin and Ben and those guys a lot. So at least a little bit of veteran experience on the team. Puff Puff Pass.
Yeah, then you have some new guys too coming in.
Yeah,
Jason,
exactly.
Zena, Arsh Nagra, I want to say. Those that looks like they have a few players that are coming in, maybe some friends that are finally joining them in the flag world.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, I'm looking up and down. I mean, a couple of familiar names. You know, Herb Junior Louis. He plays for a team I saw last year, TD Brothers. I remember watching them a couple of times. I believe in the winter season. I want to say. So yeah, a couple of familiar names. But you said, yeah, mainly again in this tier 5, a lot of rookie teams or teams with very little experience. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Like we talked about, right? PSTM, you know, they had a really good season last year. Cafe 67, I remember seeing them in the winter season. And you talked about obviously Shockers, Jamaican Bloodline, Jamaican Bob's the team, and that. So it's interesting. Gamblers as well, right? So you know what? So the Gamblers are that team, right, who had that big whooping on PSTM in the winter season. In the spring season. I'm looking to see if they're bringing back the majority of the roster. Yeah, Matthew Antonios is on that team. A lot of familiar faces on that squad. So that's going to be a team to be reckoned with, I think, in tier 5 here.
Yeah. What do you think is probably the most stressful? Do you think the most stressful thing is to kind of think of a name and to kind of put it like you're like this is going to be your name? I think that's probably the hardest thing to kind of think about.
Yeah. You know, so I'll give you one as well to go with that. So name for sure. I know for my name for my team, the Commission, like it's like it has a little hip hop history to it. I'm a huge Biggie Smalls fan. So I took that name. So Biggie's obviously Biggie got murdered like over 20 years ago now, I think, or almost 20 years ago, 1997, however long ago that was. If he hadn't died, he was supposed to form this rap supergroup with Jay-Z and just go to Charlie Baltimore, and they were going to call it The Commission. They actually had a couple of songs together, but whatever. Yeah. And so I just took that name, and I remember talking to a buddy of mine. We were trying to figure out what do I want to name the team, and he's a hip-hop head as well. And I was going to Commission, and another buddy on the team's like, yeah, that sounds pretty dope. Another guy's like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. So that's what we roll with. But you're right. We were going back and forth with a couple of different names. And I find jerseys as well, right? Like when I joined FPF, like way back in the day, early 2000s, black jersey, I mean, a couple of teams had him. Not too many teams had a black jersey, but more than a few. But now it's like almost every team has a dark jersey. But now you see a lot, right? Like you talked about Emma before, Emma Townsend last night with Chaos. She designs her team jersey. So I notice a lot of teams now are getting creative with the team jerseys.
Yeah.
Some of them are going to Sportira, some of them aren't. But it's also a lot of pressure to pick that jersey. You want something that not every team has because you don't want to wear the pennies because the pennies are horrible.
Color-wise.
Yeah. But that's it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. You also want to have a jersey. So I find it's like you want to have that jersey that's going to make you look tough, even if you're not. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but also you also want to, as you're saying, you also want to make a nice jersey because I think probably the craziest thing is like if you've been playing for a long time, the amount of jerseys that you end up having.
Yeah.
I have so many jerseys with so many different teams where it's the point where it's like maybe instead of getting a new jersey, I'll just stick to my black jersey. But if it was like a
Exactly.
really nice black jersey, or a blue jersey. But sometimes you're like, oh, you know what? I don't really like that one. Let me get whatever else is happening. But so I think that's
100%.
to really think about when you are getting jerseys, and you want to make sure the quality is at least something good, because you never know, you might be playing with it for the next few years.
No, 100%. So you want that durability. You also want something that's going to survive, like when people grab and tear out your jersey, right? Because see, a lot of jerseys, a lot of t-shirts, especially get torn that way. I know some guys on my team have gone through jerseys, myself included. I think I'm on my fourth right now. There was this one team, they don't play anymore, the Bashir brothers, the Mystical Magical something men, whatever. Lost my first championship to them. I hate their guts. But what they did is they had football jerseys. So they would have all dark, like they weren't all the same team, but let's say they were like a Vikings purple, 49ers red, all the dark jerseys for certain games. They would bring the backup jerseys in white. So they would bring the away jerseys in their bags as well in case there was some kind of color problem.
That's cool.
I thought that was really smart. I mean, it's a lot of money to do that for NFL jerseys, but I mean, I thought it was pretty dope.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it depends where you get the jerseys as well too. Sometimes you get
you get some black market. You get some black market.
Yeah, I remember when they I forgot what the store was called. I don't want to say Sporting Life, but it was some sporting store that ended up closing, and they were selling jerseys for like $20, like legitimately jerseys that just they were selling, and like no one kind of wanted it. I think I got a JJ Watt jersey from Texans, and I also got Russell Wilson from Seattle. Okay. Yeah, wow, so I got that paid me like $40.
Hey, why not, man?
Like at the end of the day, like it's still a nice jersey.
For sure, 100%.
Talking about Tier 5, right? There's only we have 13 teams in Tier 5, and only 8 teams are going to make playoffs. Yep. Do you feel like that's a bit too little amount of teams to make playoffs for your first time going into like a division Tier 5, or do you think it's like okay?
I mean, yeah, no. I mean, you look at Tier 1, there's 7 teams, 6 make it. Tier 2, 7 teams, 6 make it. For the women's, 8 teams, 6 make it. I think that's a perfect amount. I know we've talked about this before, right? I don't like having everybody make the playoffs. There are positives to it. I think having 13 teams, only having 8 make the playoffs, right? I mean, that's just a little bit more than half. It really kind of makes sure you take it seriously all your games, because every game matters, and it kind of makes you kind of hit the ground running, especially for those newer teams, right? So I think it's fine, to be honest. I mean, because the other option then is having you want 10 teams to make it.
Yeah, you have 10 teams because there's no buys, right? They give no buys for this division, so maybe 10 teams make it, top 2 get a buy, and then the rest kind of have to play it out.
Yeah, that is a way to look at it. Yeah, it's true. I wouldn't mind 10. I wouldn't mind 10 because there's 13, but 8, you know what? If you're good enough to get in, you do what you need to do to get there, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just something I was kind of looking at. Sometimes you try to let other teams kind of experience like a playoff situation.
Right.
Sometimes you're right. You guys have the best season, and sometimes you never know. Like those teams that, let's just say they did have 10 teams. Sometimes that 9 to 10 seed could end up winning a championship, and we saw it in the summer. Yeah, we saw it exactly. So. It's like they're not going to get their chance now, but again, it's kind of like a reality check. When you don't make playoffs, it's like, okay, guys, well, next season we got to be better. We got to start winning earlier games on, because it's to a point where if you have a slow start and you're going to be going 0-5, let's just say you don't win the first 5 games, you're in a really bad situation to end up making playoffs.
Yeah. Who do you? So looking at this, so let's make a prediction now. We can go back to this at either the midway point or at the end of the season. Who do you have winning Tier 5?
I think Jamaican bobsled team is going to do it. I know last season they didn't finish. They had a great season. They're probably one of the best teams going into the playoffs. I believe they went 7-3 or 8-2. I want to say it's around those numbers. I'm not exactly sure, but I know they had a positive record. So I think going into the season now, they're the vets. They're a veteran team now. It's going to be their second season going into this division. And I think they're going to be hungry. I think they're going to realize, like, you know what, guys, we should have won last season. We're probably one of the best teams. We didn't do it. Let's make sure we win it this year. So I'm going to go with them. How about you?
Hey, I mean, That's fair. That's fair. I mean, you're right. They are a solid team. I want to go with PSTM, man. Listen, I was impressed. They were the underdog against the number one seed First Down Sniffers. I believe we did that game together for spring finals, right? They smoked First Down Sniffers 27-6. Looking at the roster, looks like they're returning pretty much their whole entire squad for the most part. I'm going to go with them. I will say though, I have an underdog team. I'm looking at, I believe it's Vengeance. They could make a little noise. They got some veterans on their team. Matthew Chadwick, Josh Curry, John Sebastian Rossi, Rosie, pardon me, has been in the league for a long time. They can make some noise depending on how Chadwick performs at quarterback. I'm gonna go with PSTM. I think just both sides of the ball. They're aggressive, they're fast, they have some ball hawks, and they have championship experience.
Mm-hmm. I was also looking. I was looking at Vengeance too as well. It's just they didn't perform that well. I don't think they were there last season. I think they were there in the winter season. They didn't do so good that season. So I think they'll probably be in the middle of the pack this year. Probably get into like the quarters and lose. So I wasn't really high on them this year.
Well, Vengeance is so hold on. They played Division F. 'Cause I remember talking to Matt Chadwick, his buddy of mine. Yeah, they went 1-9 in the spring season. So I mean, I'm hoping they learn from that. I mean, they were in some close games looking at it here, but they got to take that next step. And again, it depends on what Matthew Chadwick does at quarterback. I know he's trying his hardest, and he's a good dude. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see what happens. All right, let's hop over to
let's go
tier 4. So tier 4, man, 33 teams.
Yeah, that's crazy.
33 teams. 24 make the playoffs, but 33 teams. To me, I see that and I'm like, really, no one really wants to go tier 3?
Yeah, well, to that point, right? But you know how crazy it is? How crazy is it going to be for you to win a tier 4 championship? But it's like you basically beat out 32 other teams, which is crazy. Like if let's just say you win tier 4 championship, you literally beat out 32 other teams, which is like
very true.
You don't see that. You don't see it often. That's like NFL. That's like literally 32 teams in the division. You know, like and back to you're gonna be whoever wins tier 4 is gonna be like, yeah, we're tier 4 champions, yeah. But there was also 32 other teams in our division. Like
it's a gauntlet, I tell you. It was a gauntlet.
Right?
I'd be like, it was a gauntlet. There was a ton of teams. It was like going through a war. We got it done.
That point. And also, it's also the fact where 9 teams are not going to make playoffs as well, too, right? So that's also a lot of teams not to make playoffs. Mm-hmm. So it's like there's no slow starts. One thing we were kind of talking about it, and like I'm this type of person. Like I find it boring if like everyone makes playoffs. I find that stupid. I think we had a couple. I think last season we had I think Co-ed 2 they had that where everyone made playoffs. I find that kind of like to the point it's not
3 as well.
I feel like one team should be punished. If you have a bad season, there's no reason. You shouldn't have a reward to have a bad season and make playoffs.
Yeah.
You know? Playoffs is supposed to be privilege. You know, it's something that you technically don't pay for. You pay for your season for your 10 games that are guaranteed, and then playoffs is extra. You know, so I feel like there's no reason for you to have a bad season. Oh, by the way, you have a bad season. You won 1-9. Congrats, you made playoffs.
Yeah.
It's like when you're doing something, an event, and you like finish dead last, and you get a medal for it.
Yeah, I hear you. Participation medal. Yeah, I'm not a fan of those.
Maybe it's just me, and that's the way how competitive I am. But
I hear you. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, I think listen, if it's a 14 division like Co-ed 3 last year, right? Sorry for women's 3. Yeah, let all 4 teams make it.
Yeah, well, that's fine. There's not that many teams, but
but no, I hear you. I hear you. So looking at this tier 4 though, man, like there's a lot of familiar faces, a lot of familiar teams. FC Bing, Rum and Coke, No Flags Given, not Fast Just Furious, Richter, Studs, First Off Sniffers. We just talked about Team Ethnic, Glow Games, and veteran teams in there. Flag Dealers, Voodoo. Like there's Chomedy shows. There's some really good teams in your Super Troopers. So Kenny Batilia's team. I'm looking at as well 2 squad. I'm looking at this also, and I'm seeing. So sophomore XL, but now sophomore XL exchange student. So I know Keon Cyrus told me he's not playing this fall season. He had an operation on, I believe, 1 or 2 of his fingers, so he wants to give his fingers a rest. And I say that, and I see him on the roster. I know Keon's gonna end up probably subbing a couple games for these guys, but he told me he's not playing full time, so we'll see what happens. Von Zlet, the quarterback, he's back. A couple of cats, Marcus, their snapper, he's in there. Michael Schiller. I don't play with Rick and Marty for Division D. He's part of that finals team. That really tall rusher, is a good receiver as well.
Mhm.
Anthony Mustachino. So that's a veteran. Like, there's a lot of veteran teams in this division. That's why I think it's going to be the most competitive. Again, 33 teams when 24 make the playoffs. So, like I said, 9 teams. I really think it's going to be a dogfight all the way through for this division.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of teams that we're kind of seeing and the teams that we kind of know of, it seems like a lot of them
Yeah,
are in tier four and they're not bad teams, you know? Like,
not at
I'm kind of
all.
looking
Not
on
at
the
all.
list and I'm trying to see like teams that kind of had a bad season. And I don't see many teams at all, you know? And then we also have some new
Okay.
teams where, well, maybe not some new teams, but some new names, right?
Names, yeah, exactly.
So
Bible study is one of those teams, older team but a newer name. Sorry, an old team with a new name. The Rocco
yeah,
Cristiano's on
so
that team.
I think there's a lot of like I don't see that many new teams. You know, sometimes when you see okay, there's gonna be we have like maybe 10 new teams and they're gonna struggle. So those are the teams that are gonna have a bad season. You know, it doesn't seem
Yeah,
like that. I see there's a Monstars teams. I know it's on
right.
the original Monstars. So
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, I don't think it is either.
yeah, but you have Tony Cooler, I think. He's a vet. He used to play. He's been in the league since he played on the Hurricanes back in 2009. So
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah. So I mean, like again, that's a veteran captain at least, right? There's I think they have two
Yeah,
players
yeah, yeah.
that haven't played FPF. Like a team like that, right? You think it's a new team, but again, you have players that have been playing for a while now. So
That's it. Yep.
it's
Yep.
going to be a very interesting it's going to be a very interesting division. And the fact that 9 teams also don't make playoffs, it's going to be to a point where it's like week 5, week 6, a lot of teams are going to be in panic mode as well, right? It
Oh,
comes to
for
a point where
sure.
you
For sure.
don't have the privilege of going, let's just say 2-8 and making playoffs. Definitely, if you go 2-8 in this division, you're not going to make playoffs.
Oh no, but I'm thinking you need at least 4, maybe even 5 wins to really guarantee that playoff spot.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Oh,
about
for sure.
four. Sometimes it might be a situation where schedule wise, some teams do get kind of screwed. You know, sometimes you're a bottom team. Let's just say you're in between the pack and you play a lot of the top teams in this division, and it's a point where you're a team that you should be going 6-4, but you played a bit of too many good teams, and you end up going 3-7, and you kind of squeeze in there, you know, because just because a lot of the some teams play versus better teams, sometimes it's situations like that.
Yep.
Going into this division, though, do you feel like maybe they should have split it in two?
Yeah, they did it in the past, right? Where you have like 4A, 4B, like in the winter, right? I
Yeah.
think yeah, it's possible.
Well,
I would.
I was not thinking like 4A, 4B because the problem with 4A, 4B, you have your own playoffs and
Mhm.
championships. I was
Right.
thinking more like Division One and then like Division Two, and you cross with the other teams though. So you everyone plays like a regular season where
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
your
yeah,
schedule's
yeah,
kind of all over the place, and then you
yeah,
have whatever. Let's just say you have
yeah.
33 teams, so divided 16, 17. Let's just say 12 or 11 teams make it each side, and then you
Mhm.
cross other divisions. So you
Yeah,
play
crossover
versus
games. Yeah,
the
yeah,
one will play versus the eighth, but from the other side or the 10-9.
yeah, yeah. That'd be an interesting way to do it for sure. I mean, I think there's one way they could have gone. I mean, I think with this again with this whole 24 teams out of the 33 making the playoffs. I'm looking at the playoff breakdown right here. Yeah, so what seeds 1 through 8 get the bye. So I mean, maybe that's why they elected to do it like this. I don't know, but yeah, having that kind of crossover thing like they have in the CFL, I guess, for lack of better
Mhm.
comparison, would be kind of cool. Again, I think this is going to be a dogfight though, man. Looking at these teams, just to correct myself. So Bible Study, I remember Rocco Cristiano and Evan is they had a team I think called Bible Study a few years ago. Because I know Evan watches the podcast, so he'll let me know about it if I don't say that they had a team called Bible Study a couple years back. So my apologies. Um, I'm looking at it here though, man. Yeah, the crossover would actually be pretty cool because I think at the end of the day, with 9 teams missing the playoffs, I think there will be at least 1 or 2 good teams who might not be able to get in. But we'll have to see what it is. I also just noticed that reborn prospects are here as well. I mean, this has a chance to be the most competitive. I think it will actually be the most competitive division in
Yeah.
FPF. How do you see it shaking out? If you had to pick, who would you pick as your top 3 teams in this division right now?
Ooh, top three teams. Uh, um, I would go with Toon Squad,
Yeah.
First Down Snifflers, and uh, Reborn Prospects. I believe they're pretty good. I believe they went. They had a pretty good. Yeah, and Reborn Prospects. I believe they went 8-2 last season. And I believe Toon
Okay.
Squad. I think those three teams I took were pretty much one of the powerhouse teams in the
Okay.
last season. You?
Okay. I
What
got
was
Reborn Prospects for sure in my top three. Mm, I'm gonna say uh I want to say Bible study, but for me though, it depends. Rocco can't throw in this division, obviously.
your,
Rocco Cristiano. I want to say it depends on who's gonna throw for them. I'm looking at their roster right now to see who would potentially play quarterback. Um, yeah, I don't know actually. Ryan Cohen. Yeah, I'm not sure who play quarterback. But
yeah.
I'm saying yeah, we have Rocco
Yeah.
on the team. Nicholas Fawn. They have some playmakers. So I'm gonna pick Bible study just because I think if they can have like I don't think they're gonna make a team if they don't have like legit quarterback. So I'm going to assume them. And I think that last team I picked for the top three. I mean, this is really hard. I know you picked the first down sniffers. I'm gonna say Richter, Jeremy Steinberg's team. He's a quarterback for that team. I like Richter. I like what I saw of him in the spring season. I'm gonna pick Richter in my top three.
Okay. So when the season goes down the line and we're in week 8, week 9, we can see how our teams are going.
These guys are idiots. What are they talking about? Richter and teams like that. Actually, Roman Cole Ben's team actually looks pretty decent too, but it depends on who. Like I don't know if is it Phil Roberts throwing. It's my
No, I
name,
think
my
it's
homie Phil.
Deontay. I want
Is
to say
it?
it's Dante.
Yeah, I think it's Dante. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is. It is Dante. Okay, so you know what? Dante's an ascending quarterback. He's getting better and better each season.
Yeah,
Mm,
you kind of have your
nah.
two powerhouse. You have Felix and you have Ben kind of probably going to be
Yeah,
carrying a lot of those loads. For a tier 4 team, I mean, Felix and Ben are two pretty good players, like
100%. And you know what? I'll give some respect though to Matteo Girardi, so Dante's brother. Matteo makes some plays. Big man, kind of has that tight end body, whatever. He makes some plays. He has good hands, runs solid routes. Okay, I'm gonna stick with my three, but I'm gonna say Roman Coker. I'm gonna maybe finish on that fourth or fifth spot. They'll be right
yeah.
up
Well,
there among the top
I was
teams,
looking at Rummenko too,
right?
but I know I think they did. I think they were in division. I want to say F last season too.
For E, I can't
Maybe in
remember.
D.
I'll,
Maybe I
I'll
think they
check
were.
that out.
I
Yeah,
think they were in D actually. I think they finished 5-5 around those lines. So,
right. All right. All right.
so
Let's
tier
yeah, division tier three. So tier three is a little bit smaller. 20 teams. Only 12 don't make the postseason. Again, it's another division. A lot of familiar faces. There's the Mofos, Bruins, Mutation, Penetrators, Mengu, Snowden, Deli Deegan. So again, team that went 10-0 and came within a play. Actually, they lost to Rick and Marty last play of the game for the Division D championship. So they're now in tier three as well. They should be. Killer Ray, Sugar Daddies, Beer Belly Brigade. Beer Belly Brigade, I don't know how they managed to get fit into tier three, but they're in tier three. Jagerbomb, another team, I have no idea how they fit into tier three, but hey, credit to
I
Simone.
think the cap is a bit higher for tier 3 for some of these teams.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is.
As you can
Win
see,
Diesel.
you're going to see in tier 2, you're going to see a lot of powerhouse teams.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Team Sexy in there as well. Like I said, Win Diesel, that's a team, and they pretty much win almost every division they're in, or at least are doing contention.
Yeah,
And almost we'll see back in the crew in any division that they're in. So I think this is going to be a dogfight to the end as well. A lot of good teams in tier three.
yeah, exactly. Also, as we were saying, Win Diesel should be one of the top teams, especially if Will Seabag's going to be
Yep,
throwing.
I think he is. I'm
He's
pretty
at
sure
an
he is.
80. So for some reason, he's at an 80. So I feel like the cap is at 80 for tier 3. I want to say it's at 80.
Yeah,
Um,
that sounds about right. Let's
Resources.
find out here. Resources, loss of verification. Yeah, let's find
Tier
out right
3,
here.
yeah, exactly at 80, as I said.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
It makes makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Right. I mean, again, just a veteran team. They've been in championship games. They've been in a lot of big games. There's a ton of chemistry. There's a lot of family members on that team and tight friends. I can see them making definitely a deep run. I'd be shocked if they weren't in the top three at the worst, top five in this division. I think so. Beer Belly Brigade. Like if Alex Fafard is throwing, I mean, he's had really bad injury luck the last couple of seasons. If he's throwing, I can see them finishing in the top five at the very worst, top
As,
6 or 7.
yeah, as they should. They played B
Yeah, yeah,
the last, I
yeah.
think, the season before. They played C.
Mhm.
They've always been their biggest issue with them is that when they got into the league, there was a lot of good teams, right? And I feel like a lot of the good teams kind of made the drop. They're in tier two now or division A. So it's like I feel like now it's their time to kind of shine. You don't have those regular team names. Well, you have the regular team names, but they weren't in B. Like none of these you out of all these teams that we have on this list, I don't think any of them ever been in division B. Maybe Bruins
There you
actually,
go.
probably Bruins. If I think Bruins is probably the only team that have been in B, and yeah, that's all I want to say. So Bear Belly and Bruins, and probably Mongoose, depending on the roster. But
Well, Mangoose,
division
yeah, it
B,
depends. Yeah,
yeah,
Mangoose is nah. Mangoose is a different team. They have Thomas Couture, Nick Schaefer. I don't think he plays for that team. I think Charles Olivier Lavigne and Thomas Couture, and they have a
okay,
quarterback.
okay. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
not
it's a
even the
different team.
same thing. But I
Yeah,
feel like Beer Belly is one of the teams that they've been in the league for a while now. Their core guys are always the same, so it's like, I
yeah,
feel like it's their time to kind of take control of these divisions. You know, like they've always struggled with the other teams that were in the same division as them, and they finished 2-8 or 3-7 or even 1-9. You know, but this is a time where they need to take advantage of playing some of these teams where athletic wise and just kind of experience wise, they should be the better team.
yeah. It should be. I remember playing against them last fall season in Tier 3. It's a good team again. They've been together for a while, so I was, if they can avoid the injury bug, especially to Fafard, they could definitely contend for a championship.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if that happens. But one team, so you mentioned the Bruins, right? I mean, so Rocco Cristiano obviously he's played for the Bruins for a long time. He's playing for the Bruins again this year. He can't throw again like we talked about, right, in this division because he's about 87 or 88 as a quarterback. Francois Martin is going to be the quarterback, unless it's Gab Wiseman, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
Francois Martin, if he's on your team, he's throwing.
yeah, for sure. I don't think he's. He also, I think he snaps. I want to
He
say, or
can snap. Yeah, I've seen him snap. He can snap. I mean, so can Gab Wiseman.
yeah,
It'd be interesting because I saw Francois, a buddy of mine, like he subbed for Beer Belly Brigade actually this past spring season.
yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, that was his first extended action since like the FPF Cup. And as you know, FPF Cup no longer exists. That was the fall season back, and it ended in 2023. That was his last extensive action as a quarterback. He had 37 touchdowns, 9 INTs. It's a long time ago, right? 2 full seasons. So I'm wondering if he's going to be the quarterback for the Bruins. I mean, how does that time off? How's it going to affect him? And also with the Bruins, I mean, a lot of these guys he's going to be throwing to, looking at this roster here, I don't think he has that much experience, if any of them, for the most part. But I could be wrong. But
Yeah, like
uh,
well, yeah, experience. I mean, connection wise, I don't think anybody. Um,
yeah, Lucas Quenville. So Nick Gomez, obviously AJ's bro. Arnis Memetaj. I mean, he's kind of newish to the league. I mean, great players. Yeah, he'll have some weapons. He'll have some weapons. Just I don't know how much chemistry he has with them, but I mean,
yeah, well,
yeah,
it seems like this is a. Wait, who's I feel like this is a Nashville Bruins team, and I think he just kind of joined it. I think they're maybe missing a piece, or again, maybe they wanted a quarterback to kind of see how things were. But he's gonna
yeah,
have some solid receivers to actually get the ball to. Um,
100%, yeah,
going
100%.
around the list, right? You have Arnis, you have
Yep.
Gabriel, you have Lucas, and then you have
Hmm.
Nicholas, and you have Rocco, right? You have kind of
Yeah,
all those guys I just named.
yeah.
They're probably top. I would say
They're all
top.
playmakers. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Especially top in tier three. I feel like they're probably one. There could be most of them are probably top three tier receivers. You know, at the end of the day. So
yeah.
if he's able to just kind of run his offense and start getting comfortable in that offensive plan, they should do fine.
How do you see the shaking out? Who would be your top three teams if you had to pick for this division?
I would go with. So I'm going back at it right now. I would go Win Diesel. That's for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm also going to go Jugger Bomb. Um, Jugger Bomb, veteran team, and they get wins when they need to get wins.
Yeah, it's true.
So I
Very
feel
true.
like tier three. I feel like tier two would be a bit too much for them. Tier four would be too easy for them, right? So tier three is just right. And I
Yeah.
think they have the experience. They have the quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, the same quarterback it should be.
Yeah, Simon. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a veteran team. They've been playing with each other for a while. I know they probably lost maybe one or two guys, and they kind of added some add-ons. But other than that, I think they should be fine. So I would go Wen Diesel, Jugger Bomb, and I will have my last team. I would go with I would go Bruins as well. I'll take the Bruins.
Okay.
You?
Okay. I have. Do I have Jagerbomb? I'll say Jagerbomb because again, veteran team. They've been in a ton of big games. I'll say Snowden Deli Deegans. Again, this is a good team. Alan Malinoff at quarterback. He's a game changer. With his arm, with his feet. He has chemistry with all his guys. I'm gonna throw out a surprise team to you though. Stim U.
Ooh.
Stim U. This is a new team, both a ton of veterans. Felix Boutte is a receiver. Nick DeMallo is on the team. Will Rich, a guy I've seen him play a little bit here and there. He's pretty decent. He's on the team. Laurent Beauchamp. And so,
Oh,
yeah,
this isn't this a team that they run for that they what's that? What's those games called? They play outside.
the MFL.
No. They it's for school. Like it's where are they called? Oh, it's gonna bother me. Let me check. Let me go stalk Felix's Instagram really fast here.
All right, so and they have a quarterback. So Noah De Lolo Langile, pardon me, I believe he's a former Champlain Cavalier quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. I recognize the name, and I'm pretty sure I've called those games before. He played before. So basically, Emerson Peterkin's first year with the Cavs, Langelier he was already there the year before, kind of the incumbent, and then obviously Peterkin took a job, rightfully so. Langelier, he had a decent arm, wasn't a horrible quarterback. So I mean, if this guy's gonna make the transition to FPF, as guys in the past like Philip Peltier has, and obviously Emerson Peterkin, we don't know he could catch and throw. He's doing right now. I think that'd be a big plus for them. Again, you have Felix Boutte, one of the top, at very worst, top five receivers in all of FPF, catching passes for you. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, so it's called les jeux du commence the common games. I think it's called in English, but it's
Okay.
basically I believe it's a program for every school. So I think it's
Yeah.
HEC. So program for HEC, and
Okay.
literally they play in like January. Yeah, outside. And it's like a big event. So there's like Montreal, there's Concordia, there's I believe Laval, Sherbrooke, and they play flag football outside, which is crazy to play that. But it's like a huge thing. I believe they won it last year, or the last season that it was. I believe they won it last year. It was in Quebec, but it's a big thing.
Oh, you saying les jeux de commerce?
Yeah,
Oh, so I think it's for commerce students.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for commerce students. Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that. And never playing outside in
So
the cold. Yeah, feel
and
you.
I feel
Okay.
like if it's around that, I'm whatever. I'm just stalk Felix Instagram, and most of the players are tagging all the pictures and stuff like that. So I
Right,
feel like
right,
it's
right.
kind of like a team that's built off of
Okay.
that.
Well, I mean, listen. So if they have chemistry and they got playmakers, Guillaume Cote, my bad, I didn't mention his name as well. Yeah, I don't see why not. I don't see why they wouldn't be able to make a deep run in the playoffs.
Yeah. Also practice too, right? So
Yeah.
they
Well,
run
there you
it
go.
they run it back for their
Mhm. There you
for
go.
their games.
Perfect.
Maybe be
All right.
easier for them to win.
All right. Cool.
Would you play football in January? Let's just say if someone's like, oh, it's snowing
Uh,
outside.
I used to do it, man. In like my teenage early 20s, 100%. I remember before I played Concordia, I played junior ball in Chateauguay. I played for 4 years, and they would have this garbage bowl. Yeah, it was called the garbage bowl. I think it was New Year's Day, I remember one time I came out, dude. It was freezing. I got out the car and I was like, yeah, I can't do this. I played, I think, for maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, and I went back. I was like, yeah, it was like 10 minutes from my house. And I was like, yeah, this is not working for me. I love ball. I'll play ball to the day I die if I can. And now that I'm not playing tackle anymore, like I'm playing flag and trying to be involved in both flag and tackle, like writing and broadcasting and so on and so forth. But like playing in like I don't know, -5, -10, I don't know about that. What
Yeah.
about you?
Nah, hell no. No, no, no.
Yes.
You wouldn't be able to pay me to go play outside. That right there.
Yeah, that's it. I could tell you as a kid, I'd be like, for sure. Teenager, in my early 20s,
Yeah.
100%. I'll put on some pads. I want to hit somebody, have some fun. But yeah, no.
No, when I was like at Cordia, and it would be during like around playoff times, and we would never have home field advantage. We're always either going to Montreal or going to
Or
Laval.
Laval, yeah. Still the same thing now. Yeah,
Either or we're going to one of those, right? And then
yeah.
it would be like I feel like the season would end around end of October, so the first playoff game would be like the second week of November.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it was
Freezing.
so cold during practices too. I was like, one
Freezing.
time it was snowing. It snowed. I think we practiced 3 times in the week. We practiced Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and it just snowed. And then like Monday was bad, Tuesday was bad, Wednesday was like hot. We didn't practice. Thursday was cold, and then we went down to Laval to play them on a Sunday. Sunday at noon, the game was there. So we went down on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
The weather wasn't bad, and then it freaking snowed on Sunday in fucking Quebec. It was bad. It was. I remember I was so pissed. I was like, we're getting completely destroyed after
Yeah.
halftime. After
Yeah.
halftime was bad. I think we went to halftime. It was like 20 to like 6, which is not too bad. But after
Mm-hmm.
the third quarter, it was like 41
Yeah.
to 6. The game was done. It was just cold. I just kind of wanted to go home at that point. Everyone wasn't down anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you. So when you play Connu, did you play under McGrath or you played under Brad?
Brad. No,
Okay,
I
so
played. No, I played with the Donnan brothers.
okay, Mickey and Pat, my guy. Okay, yeah. All right, all right.
I played with Donnan brothers, each
Yep.
one of them, because at one point Pat was
Mm-hmm.
the coach too. So there's Mickey,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
then Pat, and then I played with Brad. So I had 3 head coaches, to be honest.
Okay.
In my 4 years, I had
Nice.
3 head coaches.
Oh man. Okay. Okay. So I asked her because I played with Patty. Patty was linebacker when I was playing, and like I played under McGrath. All the practices were at night. It was like 6 to 8. I
Mm-hmm.
know with Brad, so covering like university now, so I've had a chance to go see a couple of Connu practices. Some of them are earlier in the daytime. I know at McGill, some of them are like, well, before school goes back, they're like, let's say 2, 3 in the afternoon. It's fine, it's nice outside. But I know once the students are back in school, some of them are a little later. But I know with McGrath, it was always like 6 to 8. And then by the time you would get out of there, so you would go to the cold tub after, you take a shower, go to the cold tub and all that stuff. By the time you get out, it's like almost 9 o'clock. Like under when you play with Mickey and Pat, or the practice and even Brad, were the practices still late at night or they were a little earlier?
I
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
our practices were at night.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
practice. I think it was like again 6 to 8 around that time.
okay.
And then unless we had morning practices like lifting, but usually didn't like
Yeah,
usually earlier in the summer, so like August, whatever, we would
yeah.
have earlier practices. But when school started, we were there from
Right,
6 to 8. Remember, it was like 6 to 8 or 8:30 because I used to get home around like I used to just drive home after it took maybe like 30 minutes. So I'd get home
right.
around like 10 o'clock every night because then you have to like
Okay.
stretch or
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
or whatever. But yeah, and that was with all 3 coaches. So
Okay,
which
okay.
was pretty,
Nice.
it's not bad. It's just like it was to a point where you kind of, but you're still getting to school early, right? Because sometimes you have study hall, you have liftings.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're there all day. It's like a job.
Yeah,
It's like a
exactly.
job.
That's the one thing people don't realize about college, about university football. It's like people are like, oh yeah, but it's like, it's like don't get me wrong, the experience is pretty insane. Even if you go to like a school like Concordia, I'm sure the experience from Concordia to Montreal is completely different, or Laval, just how everything's kind of set up. But even at
Yeah,
Concordia, it's like it's still cool, but you don't
hundred
have a
percent.
social life. Your social life is completely gone.
Football,
You're not
football.
you're not going like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. No, you're not. You're doing your schoolwork, or
Yeah,
you're training or whatever. Are you in the film or are you in the
watching
film
film. Yeah,
or
exactly,
whatever? You're getting
exactly.
ready for the game that's coming up. You don't have time to kind of like
It's true.
play around. The only thing that was cool was after games. And there's two things that were super cool. One, you always had something to do with someone. So if ever you wanted to do something, anytime you had to do, if you wanted to do something, you could have found someone. There was never no issue. 100%. You want to go see a movie, you trust me, you got a movie buddy. You want to go for a drink, you got a drink buddy. If you want to go for 100%. A walk, trust me, you can get someone to go on a walk with you. Someone's gonna answer. That was one thing. And then also, like, after every game, we used to go out like as a team, and so we play McGill, we'd go out to a bar after, 20, 30 guys there. It was always a vibe, right? But what our coaches kind of did is that we had like yoga sessions the next morning.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so like, let's just say you play Saturday night, if the game's finished, like, so we play Saturday night, games at 7, finish at 10. Okay, everyone kind of gets home, whatever, you shower real quick, you're at the bar by like midnight, 11 o'clock, 11:30, depending where you live. And then you're leaving at 3, but we had yoga sessions at like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And if you were late for that, like, don't even bother. Like, it's your so
100%. 100%.
Good things and bad things, you know?
But, no, listen, but I mean, I'll go back to flag in a second now, but I hear you, man. Listen, like, I know for you, I'm sure you could attest to this. Like, I haven't played tackle, I haven't played at Conu in God, it's over a decade. And I'm so like tight with a lot of the guys that I played with. And that's the sports in general. But I find football, this is why I love football so much. Like, there's like 50 or 60 guys on the team. Some guys play, some guys don't. But like, there's going to, especially with either your position group or as an offense or a defense, but even sometimes both for special teams, right? Like that third phase, you're going to remain friends with people. And this applies for FPF too, right? You're going to meet people in this league who you're going to be friends with way after you finish playing, way after your last down of football. I think with tackle, obviously, again, it's not a team of like 8 or 10 like an FPF, right? It's a team of like 50 or 60 of you. And like I said, there's someone to grab a drink with, someone to go grab a bite, catch a movie, someone's going to be throwing a house party or someone knows of a house party.
Yeah.
And you roll on through and it's good times. Good times.
100%.
Good times.
All right. So back to flag. Tier 2.
Yep.
We're in tier 2.
7 teams, 6 make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's fine, you know. We have some pretty good teams in this division. We have Mangoose. Hopefully, they have a better season that they had the final game where they didn't score. What do you think about that? Like, to go back to it, right? Mangoose played Run It twice, or Run It once.
Run It once, yeah.
Yeah, Run It once in the Division B championship, right?
Yep.
They had an opportunity to score. Like, I think one runs to score. I think there was like 3 minutes left, and they kind of just called the game. Are you calling the game, or you're telling your guys, like, okay, guys, you know what? There's 3 minutes left. The season's done. We're not winning a championship, but let's go out to score so we at least put some points on the scoreboard.
Get some points on the board. You're damn right. You get some points on the board. You don't get shut out. You don't get shut out on anything. You can get shut out on soccer, hockey, baseball, especially flag football, man. Flag football is designed for teams to score some points. It was a horrible game for Nick Schaefer and his team. It is what it is. I mean, that was one of the narratives in that game, right? Like, which quarterback's going to be able to win that championship for the first time? We've seen Schaefer's a good quarterback. I'm a fan of Nick Schaefer. I think he has an elite arm. He has a good size and that. I think, though, he does choke sometimes in big games, not all the time, but here and there. And that's what happened 2 weekends ago, right? But yeah, no, to answer your question, I would have kept my team on the field, and you don't want to get that goose egg. It doesn't matter if it's game 1 or the final game of the season. You want to at least get some points.
Yeah, exactly.
And but now I would have kept my team on the field. 100%.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, I don't know about. I would have went, like, because I remember the ref saying there's 3 minutes left, and then he was kind of like, they're like, oh, and I was like, no, I'm good, bro. I don't care if I'm the only person on that field, bro. Pass me the ball, catch the ball, guys. We have to score. At least we have to put at least 1 touchdown. You know, it's like, okay, at least we scored. You know, they were literally they were probably, I think, the highest scoring offense going into the playoffs as well too. Or one of the highest.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
The fact that they did not score any points in the finals is kind of.
Yeah, especially because the firepower that they have, right? They have a lot of good players on that team. I remember seeing Run It Once had the bigger names, and they also had the size advantage, but Mangoes, they're not a bunch of scrubs. They made a championship game for a reason, right? They weren't scrubs. They just had a really bad game overall as a team, right? And fortunately this happened on the biggest stage for them. But like moving forward for this season, so yeah, it's good to see that they're they're back at it. Here in Tier 2, so it's KGP Originals, Idaho You the Pimps. Looking at Camping Bhutan. A couple of different names here. Camping Bhutan, Flag Slayer Corp. So Bhutan, yeah. So Bhutan is pretty much just Marc Andre Reeves team. It's shake and bake for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
who Camping Bhutan is. Yeah. So I mean, they don't have. So there's no Jerome. Jerome Homerton's not there. Obviously, Felix Boutte is not there either. So they're bringing back kind of the original crew like Felix Houdon, Marvin Renard, who's had to come back. Speaking of guys that have been in FPF for a long time, Mikhail Foray, Victor Boutin, obviously. So a lot of the same teams. I don't think they're gonna do as good because again, you lose Jerome, you lose Felix. Those are two really big pieces. Les Verge full. So again, this is a team we talked about a lot, right? They made the playoffs. They stuck in the back door in Division B. It depends though if their whole roster is going to show up for games. Right? Obviously, Guillaume Ballon, part of Team Canada, he missed a lot of games. He's on the roster again. They got Jules Regenbald. They added Jules Regenbald. I don't know how much you know about him. Quarterback. He's a solid player. He's rated at his 84, 85 basically. Carl Bernola, Nassim Wadi, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. Nicholas Prince. A lot of familiar faces. Philip Mathieu. They have talent.
Yeah, it's a roster that they usually play with. The only thing that's I think that's a bit different is Julius as a good quarterback. I think he's the person that kind of got added in to kind of go for these guys. But again, it's a team that I think it's a lot of guys that play for Grasset as well too for tackle. I don't want to say McGill because I'm not exactly sure, but I feel like
Ballon played McGill for sure.
Yeah, I know that. That's what I was kind of going. I was like, oh, maybe they played McGill, but I know Grasset. I know a couple of these guys played with Grasset together.
Right.
Correlation of them kind of like making a team, kind of playing with each other here. But I believe Julius is the guy that's kind of coming in as the new guy coming in as the quarterback throwing for them.
Hey, he's a solid quarterback, man. I mean, you can do a lot worse than him. So I know Thomas talked about him as well, leading up to their first round playoff game. Thomas Charles Parody. I talked about he's a guy he put some weapons around him he could produce, but I mean, maybe he puts another receiver in Jules Regenball, ends up playing the quarterback. Because if that's the case, that's an upgrade at quarterback. And again, like I said, if they could have all their guys there for the majority of their games instead of just the minimum of 5 to qualify for the playoffs, obviously, they can really make a push in this division.
Yeah, exactly. So they literally, as you said, they just need guys to show up and they should be fine.
Look at
Flag Slayer Corp.
Right.
That's,
looking at them.
That's basically never overtime, I would want to say, around correlation to that team.
Yeah. That's what it is. A couple new guys. Othman Bram, I don't know who he is. He's a rookie. They had my buddy Frederic Junot. So I'm wondering now. So it's funny, Junot. So he played on my team this past spring season. Him and Ryan Carew, they're kind of the same quarterback. Two guys that can run, two guys with big arms, two guys that love to throw the ball deep over and over and over. I'm just wondering though, they don't have Mark DeSource. They don't have Aboud, Kareem Aboud.
Yeah,
those are the two top receivers.
Like right now, there's 7 guys on this roster. I don't think they're going to be 7. I believe they're probably going to be at least 8 or 9 or at least 10. I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to come into this division with 7 guys, especially the guys that they do have. I think the fact that they're playing in Tier 2. I think the only reason why they're playing in Tier 2 is because Frederick and Ryan can't throw Tier 3 because their quarterback rating is too high. So they definitely are probably they're going to be probably one of the teams with the lowest cap. And it's going to be a point where they're probably going to have to add some more guys to kind of fill in some spots for them.
Well, and that's it. So I mean, hopefully they have Mac this Thursday. Sorry, my bad, not Kareem. It's a Rami Abu. Sorry, Rami's a good dude too, buddy of mine. If they could add those 2 guys, that'll make a huge difference, right? Because don't forget, never overtime. Remember last year they kind of crapped the bed a little bit and missed the playoffs, kind of the last week of the regular season.
Yeah, they kind of got because Les Verge ended up beating Mongoose in a game where no one thought they're going to win, and then Mongoose ended up in the first round.
Exactly.
That's the only reason why they ended up missing that playoffs. Where I think they felt comfortable, like, okay, fine, we're gonna play Mongoose. Mongoose is gonna win. Catch that first seed. Everything's gonna balance right. But unfortunately, it did not happen the way they wanted to, and they missed out.
That's it. Speaking of Jerome Hovington, so he's back now on Idaho Ute Pims. So that's gonna be pretty big for them. Who do you see winning this division?
To be honest with you, Mongoose is missing Marvin. If Marvin was on this roster, I would give it to Mongoose. The fact how good they had of the season they had last year. I don't know if they put anyone.
Well, they you know what? They got Mac. They got Mac Desource. I'm looking at it right here. I'm looking at the roster. They got Mac.
But I don't think Mac is a Marvin.
No, there's not too many Marvins in FPF. I hear you 100%, but I can tell you firsthand, like Mac, dude, he's a player, man.
No. Mac I know he's a player. I just don't like they didn't win a championship with Marvin, so like adding of Mac, I just like it's not a step completely down, but it's not like kind of saying like if you add, it's like kind of saying like a step up from Marvin would be like a Rory or like a Fawcett.
Right. Yeah.
Something around those lines. You're like, okay, the Mac he's going to be a liable receiver, offense and defense, but I'm not sure if it's going to be that receiver where it's going to be like you're going to win us a championship. So
I don't know. So you know I'm gonna I hear you 100%. I'm gonna say that with Mac, I think he's never had an elite quarterback. Or really, really good quarterback. I don't want to say elite. I don't think Nick Schaefer's elite. He's really, really good. I think he's an upgrade over Ryan Caruth. That's why I think adding Mac to this team, that could be the thing. And also, they're a little deeper. I'm noticing right now, Oliver Surrey, he didn't play with them in the spring season. He's back on this team. He's an underrated player, actually, both sides of the ball. Samuel Emilio Pelcha, who only played 5 regular season games, he tore it up in the postseason. He's on the roster. Hopefully, he plays the entire season. I just think they're a little deeper. Tristan Fisk Castle as well. I think they're a little deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And another guy. So Vincent Bolulo, I saw him rush in Division B for Poseidon's Kiss this past spring. This kid is underrated. His ratings, well, now it's up to 78 on defense, but he could rush. He's a good receiver as well. I think right now Mongoose is deeper. Marvin's a big loss, but I think you lose Marvin and you get 3 other guys, especially in Mac, who could take over a game as a receiver.
Do you feel like they needed to be deeper? Because I don't think the reason why they lost because they weren't a deeper roster. I think the way they lost.
You're right.
Didn't have the game. But to answer your question, I'm going to go with hard 8.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you saw the roster, who's on hard 8.
I'm looking at that's the one team I didn't look at. I'm looking at that right now. And Malinoff, holy moly, okay. I mean, Jeff is gonna throw, I imagine, or it's gonna have to be Jeff. I don't think it's gonna be Malinoff. Breezeball. I mean, you're on the team obviously as well. I see. Okay, yeah, Epstein, Sam Perez. That is a deep squad. Speaking of depth, all right. I was honestly, I was gonna say, Idaho Ute Pims. But yeah, looking at this squad right here, I mean, listen, Jeff got the monkey off of his back, so who's to say he can't do it again? You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go against you because I know why you're picking hard 8. I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna say, Livers Fall.
Yes.
Yeah, Livers Fall. Going for it. Jules Regin Ball is a real deal at quarterback. I like Regin Ball, man. They got some weapons.
We went from here, and you just went way.
Yeah. Gotta go on a limb. I got to do the easy picks all the time, my friend. I'm gonna go on a limb. So yeah, Livers Fall. That's my pick for.
One thing I want to say, the Verge Pro should have a really good defense. If everyone's kind of connecting, they should have a really good defense. Offense, maybe it'll take some time to kind of develop, but that's why you have 10 games to play, and 17 seasons are not making playoffs. So hopefully, if they do have a full roster every single week, they shouldn't have a problem getting into playoffs and making some noise.
All right, there you go. All right, let's go to Tier 1. Tier 1, 7 teams, same thing, 6 make the postseason. A lot of familiar names. You have the Braves, you got the Vultures, the Infantry, Royal Luminaire, Party Crashers, Easy W. So the ECW didn't play in the spring season. They're back now for the fall season. Child Please, new name. I like that name actually. That's pretty good. New name, a lot of familiar faces. So this is so I think Child's Please is formerly Fins Up, right? A lot of the same guys, Carl Aki.
Yeah, it's the same roster.
Yeah, same roster. Yeah. They brought
Um,
back Andrew Grant. Yeah, it's the same team.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
yeah. All right. They're explosive. They could be the most explosive team. I think offensively they're going to be good. Can they produce turnovers? That's going to be the thing.
Yeah, their biggest issue is going to be their defense.
Yeah, but so my question to you on this is: Are the Braves going to go undefeated again?
It depends. They're going to have some good matchups going into the season. I don't think they're going to go undefeated. I think they'll probably maybe drop at least one or two. I think they'll probably go maybe 8-2 this season. They'll probably go 8-2, depending on their roster. So they play. I'm assuming right now it says that there's 6 guys, but I feel like they're going to have their full roster. They're 8-9 guys.
Yeah.
They got Child Please, Vultures, Infantry, Party Crashers, East W, Royal, Party Crashers, Infantry, Vultures, East W. So yeah, I think they on this schedule they could have at least 2 losses going down this schedule.
Okay, that's fair. I'm looking at the Vultures right now. So is AJ gonna throw? He's gonna be the quarterback, I imagine.
No, it's gonna be Ben.
Or will be Ben? Okay, it'll be Ben. Okay, that makes sense. All right.
It's gonna be Ben.
So yeah, Ben.
AJ,
so they added Jeremy Steinberg.
AJ shows up. I know he missed a few games. I think Vultures had a huge issue, right? Last season. I believe Emma and Lori actually subbed in a few games. I mean, maybe Lori won Emma twice, but their biggest issue was to have guys.
Consistent roster, yeah.
So I believe they got Jeremy Steinberg.
Steinberg's there. He's gonna rush. He's gonna rush her.
He's gonna come rush with them. You have the veterans, Ryan Perry, you have Sanders.
Kevin.
You have Danny Manzini.
Yep.
That's a
good receiver.
That's a pretty big add-on for them. And then Anthony Drysdale is pretty much
solid.
Yeah, exactly. And he's his go-to for Ben. Ben and Anthony are they got a really good chemistry going on. So you always see whenever Ben is quarterbacking and Anthony's on that team, Anthony usually leads receiving yards and touchdowns compared to the division. So when you have that good chemistry, it's like kind of Dan and AJ. I feel like that's the kind of vibe I get.
So one thing I'm wondering about the squad. So AJ is listed on this team, the Vultures. He's also listed on Royal Luminaire.
Ooh.
So and he's played in the past with Jesse Dupuis and those boys, right? So it's what team is he going to be on? That's the question.
We're going to have to find out.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it. Alessi Gomon's back. Acting La Pointe. A lot of the guys who have been with Royal Luminaire, the Alpha T's back in the day. Marc-Andre Lapointe as well. Serge Pilon, Hall of Famer. Vince Maule as well, right? So a lot of familiar names.
Yeah, they have a very, very lot of familiars, and they have their veteran team. They have a team where they're used to having these guys. I believe AJ also played with all these guys before.
Yes.
They kind of had everybody as the same roster. I feel like I'm kind of seeing Jacob Dupuis is who it's.
So I've seen him play before. So I think he's Jesse's brother or cousin. I can't remember, but I've seen him play. He's not bad.
That's probably it. I heard his brother's not supposed to ever play with him ever again. I think something happens like that. I don't remember exactly the story. Okay. But no, they have a good team. They have Marc-Andre Lapointe too, Serge, Vincent. It's a pretty solid team. If they get to add AJ on this team, it makes it so much better. But even if they don't add AJ, I mean, I feel like it's still a solid group of guys.
For sure. I'm looking at ECWs quickly here. I mean, Jeremy White, obviously, Nicolas Blais, Nathan Desjardins, Samuel Pelshaw. JC Frelon, obviously veteran, great snapper, even better rusher. Etienne Laurence Gervais, Charles Olivier Leving, Alex Barros, one of those players who's really coming up and up each year he plays now. The veteran squad, I expect him to make a run. See what happens. Who do you have? So who do you have winning this, and who do you think would be a finals matchup here in Tier 1?
I'm gonna go Braves just because they've been winning every year, and then I would have to say either these Party Crashers. Who's the
I'm
quarterback?
looking at that right now. So will it be Jean Lee? Will it be other deep? I think it's gonna be Jean Lee. I don't
Yeah.
see.
So that's, to be honest, if you're looking at that roster is pretty insane.
Oh yeah. Oh, they got Tommy as well, eh? Okay.
Uh, if
Yeah.
I don't think everyone's gonna be there.
Nope.
I know Darren
Nope.
with Ottawa. Dawson is back though,
Mm-hmm.
unless he gets signed to a CFL team anytime soon. Uh, Ethan, yeah, they have a. This guy is also insane too. I believe he played.
Maconzo.
Ethan.
Yeah, Maconzo, eh?
Yeah, exactly. His brother played for Coastal Carolina. He also, I forgot where he played, but he played for a big team too. You have Ezekiel, Francis, France.
Frankie Hogue.
It's Jean Lee and Jordan Alexi. And Medell is probably not going to play because he's going to be in season at Concordia, so that's probably have. Jean lives in Toronto, so I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work. Then you have Tommy.
Yeah, so Rolly Tratos. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, he's my boy. Yeah.
Okay, well there you go. Yeah, there you go.
He's back too. I think he's only leaving in January, I believe. I was trying to get him to be on my coaching staff for my cadet team.
Okay.
But this team is gonna be their defense is gonna be freaking scary if you could fill
100%.
So I would say the three. I'm gonna give three teams just because I'm not sure exactly the Party Crashers we're gonna get, who's gonna be there. Right. To be honest, if Party Crashers are able to fill all these guys in, and everyone's kind of there and they're getting chemistry, by week 10 they should be a solid group of guys. I would actually say Party Crashers, especially as Jean Stay at quarterback with all the weapons. Like one thing I do have to say, the difference between Party Crashers and the Braves is going to be chemistry. That's going to be one of the biggest things. That's why the Braves sell so much while they're playing, because they're so good at chemistry, they're so good at practicing, they're so good at 2-point converts, right? But athletic-wise, I'm going to have to give to Party Crashers.
Oh, for sure, 100%. 100%, yep.
Their guys are the freaks, not freaks of nature, but they're dogs. Most of the guys.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
But if it's to a point where you have maybe one guy show up every 3 games, it's there. When it comes down to it, Braves should destroy them in that sense. But if you're telling me that you're getting this roster minus maybe 2-3 guys, but you still have a core of 9 to 10 guys, and they're getting their defensive reps, they're kind of getting used to flag, getting back to the system. I would have to say I'm gonna give Party Crashers 1, Braves 2, and then I'll give Infantry
3. Okay. That's fair. I was gonna pick the Infantry as well as my third team. Kevin Wyeth, obviously Matt Kerouac, all the usual crew, Rory, and the boys Ethan Adrian. I like the squad. I mean, they came within a couple of plays of beating the Braves. I know they're not happy about losing to the Braves. They felt the Braves got a lot of help from the officials. Let's see what happens. That rivalry continues between obviously Kevin Wyeth and Joe Mahu. I'm gonna say the Braves just because it's the Braves. They do what they do. Party Crashers for sure. I'm with you on that bandwagon. That defense is phenomenal for the Party Crash. At least on paper, at least they could be phenomenal this season. We've seen them in the spring season. They're great. John Zay at quarterback. I like Fred Dupree is a good dude, but John Zay at quarterback, he doesn't make the same mistakes that Fred does in terms of interceptions. So I want to go with the Party Crashers. I will say Royal Luminaire just because is Jesse Dupree the most talented quarterback in this division? No, he's far from it actually, I think, but he's a winner. He knows how to win. He can put his team on his back, and he makes plays when his back is against the wall. And again, the chemistry he has with guys like Alessi Gomon and the rest of that crew, after that point, Marc-Andre Lapointe, like that's next to none pretty much. So I think when it's also done, Royal Luminaire will be in one of those teams that could definitely make the finals.
Yeah, well, exactly. I feel like one thing with Jesse is, as you said, he gets the job done. You know, when the job has to get done, he gets it done. So
that's it.
That's also one team to kind of look for. Okay.
The women's one?
Sorry?
You want to do women's one?
Well, I was going to go to men's 5v5.
Okay, sure.
All right. Track down from there.
Cool. So let's do it. So men's 5v5 intermediate?
Yeah.
Looking at it right here. So the 5v5 intermediate, there are
Five
five
teams.
teams
Yeah.
well, actually for both divisions, 5 teams make the playoffs. So yeah, Green Monster, Blue Dry. So backfield penetration. A lot of familiar teams in here. Griffin Nation. I'm trying to see who these guys are here. Griffin Nation. Um, yeah, Devin Dau.
Bearskins team.
Davis, Sabrin, Sam Jolly. Okay, I mean it's a decent team. I don't think Griffin Nation. They have some names on the team. I'll give them credit for that. Do I think they can win it all? No.
For Griffin Nation.
Um, yeah, Griffin Nation.
Mm-hmm.
They look all right. Trying to see the pack is back here. Trying to see who's on the squad. These kind of teams that I don't
Pack
know.
is back. I feel like it's a. I want to say that's also a very.
Oh, Marco Bertoldi. So I know who these guys are. So I play with someone. So Sam Anastasopoulos and his boy Peter Burt. Peter is brothers with Marco Bertoldi. So but Peter's last name is actually Bertoldi. I had no idea until like I think our playoff game against Jager Bomb. He's like, yeah, Marco's my brother. I was like, oh, I played against Marco for a championship. Cool. So the Bertoldi brothers, Kyle Fulkerson's an underrated player. He can play some quarterback. He can do something. Andrew Steinberg, I've seen him play. Vaughn Vansleet again from sophomore Excel and all those other teams of Keon. This is a team that has some chemistry. Adding a veteran like Marco Bertoldi, who's been in a ton of championship games.
Yeah.
I believe he's been an all-star a couple times. That's really going to bode well for again a team with a lot of young guys. I like the squad. I like the squad. Do I think they win a championship? No, but they could definitely make sense. Again, with 5 teams in the division, they're definitely in contention.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at Green Monster. So Green Monster, they won in the
They won
winter
it.
season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of the same guys, like Darnell Kivas, Riley, David Vlad, Jason D'Souza, a lot of the same brothers, Patrick Jarzon, my man Rod Charles, the guy that wore the football pants with the pads, and I remember talking about him. Yeah, so that's another veteran team, and they have championship experience, so they'll definitely be in the mix.
Yeah. So they won. They won it. They won in the winter season.
The winter season.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. They beat the Mercenaries.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I think this is wide open. I'll be Blue Dry, right? I was led by Fred Junot.
Something to also say about the Green Monster. Remember, so that's what I was kind of thinking about. They lost to Trap Stars 5. Trap Stars 5s weren't able to go to the final.
Yeah.
The rule works is that team that's whatever. The losing team, the team that they beat, gets the first draw to kind of go to go play the final. So they end up going to finals, ended up being Mercenaries 27-14, and then some other guys finally got a championship on their back.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's kind of saying you deserve it, you kind of don't deserve it because you guys should have been there. So maybe this year it's going to be something they're going to kind of realize. Hey, like our last championship, technically it wasn't fully ours. Let's try to make sure this one is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they did what they did with it. So regardless of how they got to the finals, they still made the finals. They won it. I didn't see on the banner, hey, congratulations, and You kind of shouldn't have been here. It's championship banner. Everyone signs it, take your photos, and all that. I understand your point, though. It is what it is.
Just for them, it's like I feel like let's just say they go into this division, they make some noise, they get to the playoffs, they win a full championship. I feel like they're gonna feel more. I don't want to say pride, but just
I hear you. Yeah.
Winning a championship where they're
right.
Yeah, we won this one. We were supposed to be here. We took care of business.
Yeah, I think they could shut up anyone that said, "Oh, that championship's not real. You guys shouldn't have been there." They want to prove they could make it all the way and not have to be gifted a spot in the finals and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, no worries. How do you see this division shaking out? Again, 5 teams, 4 make the playoffs. Who do you have winning it all?
I'm gonna go backfield. We didn't talk about there, but I think it's one of the more scrappy teams. Again, it's a lot of similar names. You have Anthony Lazara, Anthony, Jimmy, Joey, Raph. So you have a lot of teams a lot of guys that have been for a while. They also backfield. I think they were in the winter season. I think they played and they ended up losing. But again, they're trying it again. I think this is their third time in 5v5 for backfield. So they say third time's a charm, and there's only 4 other teams to beat this time. So
It's true.
it's at least
go.
Yeah, less than amount of teams. So I feel like they're probably one of the best teams going into this division. So I would have to say backfield.
All right, I agree with you. I mean, listen, I think there'd be no shortage of OCs and trash talking and yelling from whatever game they're playing against, depending on who they're playing against. I think them and Blue Dry, again, another veteran squad led by Fred Juno. I think this division is wide open. You know what? I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna say the pack is back. I said no before. I think the pack is back. With the weapons they have, I think they can make a run for the championship. That's going to be my dark horses for my championship team. Yeah, backfield penetration. Yeah, pack is back. I'm going to go on a limb here. Pack is back. I want to make it a little harder here. All right. 5v5 competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 teams again, 4 make the playoffs. A lot of familiar names: Raw Dogs, Montreal Magic, KGP, the Braves, of course, and Has Been here. So Has Been, looking at the roster right now. So Has Been is Francois Rouchelot, is a familiar name there, obviously, but Bruno Lagacé, I mean, kind of a new team. So this is Jonathan Senecal. I'm excited. Been waiting for him. He played in that tournament this past summer. Former U of M quarterback. Surprised he didn't get at least a shot in the CFL. He broke pretty much every record. He won the Heck Right number 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He's the best player in Canada. I'm really excited to see him now fully in FPF. I think it's going to be a transition, right, for him to get used to playing flag from playing tackle. But once he gets going, Seneca, I've called a bunch of his games. This guy can ball. Watch out. I really think this team has been. Will they be able to beat the Braves and Montreal Magic? Maybe not right away, but I think they'll eventually be able to give them a run for the money. This could be the start of another really, really good team here in
exactly.
FPF.
I do think they're gonna have some add-ons for their defense. I don't see a lot of defensive players. I know Caro Chabot is a receiver for Montreal. I think he's done now. Same thing for Kashlo. He's more a receiver. Same thing for Nicholas Guy. He's also a receiver too. He played for Bishop back over there. So I see 3 guys that are main job is their main
job is to catch the ball.
Exactly. Main position is like a receiver, and then you have Sean Boucher and Bruno Lacasse. I think those are 2 defensive players. I'm not exactly sure where they played. I'm not sure exactly what their background is, but I believe they're 2 defensive players. So I feel like for 5v5, and then of course I don't think Jonathan Senecal is going to touch the defense as much. I think he's going to just focus on being a quarterback. His quarterback rating is 59.4, by the way, which is
I'm not sure how that happens. I'm not sure
why that's the case. Maybe it's a wrong profile. But anyways,
I'm pretty sure it's not. Anyways, doesn't matter. We're both pretty sure it's Jonathan Senecal.
I know it's him. I'm just saying his rating is kind of absurd.
Yeah.
But I feel like they need to add on and they need to add some defensive players. Maybe 2 or 3 guys to kind of get that core around and get that communication going, because 5v5 it's a lot of bus. There's a lot of busting routes. There's a lot of switches, a lot of coverages that you kind of have to do. The field is smaller, but there's more mistakes that you would like to have, especially when you don't have good chemistry with your guys. So now I see that there's 6 guys on this roster. I don't think they're going to go into the season with 6. I think they're probably going to be maybe 8 or 9. So hopefully they're 8 or 9. There are 89 guys. The 3 add-ons they're going to have are defensive players.
All right, so in the last 20 minutes or so, let's bang out quickly here. So let's get to the ladies. Women's 1. So for this division quickly, who do you have winning it? 5v5.
I'm gonna go the Braves again. Right, they're the defending champs. To be honest with you, until someone beats the Braves, there's no reason to doubt the
Yeah.
Braves.
Do you think? Okay, so who do you think will be playing the Braves in the finals?
Depending how the system works out, I would have to say Montreal Magic.
Oh, okay. That's fair. I want to go Raw Dog just because looking at the roster, so James O'Hagan is back. You know, he got injured in the winter season.
Yeah.
He's back, hopefully healthy. Dan Mancini, obviously Breezeball, Ben McMahon, Khalil Kerr. But Khalil, so I hadn't seen Khalil all season. Then I saw him in the playoffs. He's looking kind of, even Jeff said, yo, he's looking kind of jacked. Khalil's been hitting the gym. So shout out to Khalil. Obviously got Sanders and they got Paul Lapierre too. So I think the Raw Dolls will be meeting the Braves in the finals.
Okay, well, hopefully third time's a charm, right?
Yeah. There you go. There you go. That's it. All right, so let's get to the ladies.
Yeah.
So women's one, like we said earlier, right at the top. There's no women's two, no women's three, or B and C. Women's one, 8 teams, 6 make the dance. So we have again. So looking at some of the familiar names, right? She Sparks, right? Women's C, they play Turf Titans, same thing. Play women's C. We got the women's B champs, Chaos. We have the Wolf Pack again. So we have the Mercenaries. So I believe that's Maya DeFazio with her dad Gino's team. I'm just looking to make sure here. Yeah, Maya's on the roster. They got the homegirl Phoebe Gervais. She's on the team as well. Looking at a couple other familiar names on here. So, yeah, so Frida Aguno, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. She's a good kid. I met her a couple times. So the Gino's crew. Maya's an ascending player. She's doing a lot. I'm friends with her and her dad, and she's doing a lot of things, kind of a lot of different tournaments, like in Mexico and what have you.
So she's representing. I don't think.
Yeah, Team Mexico, yeah.
Yeah, Mexico, right? Yeah. So
She's doing her thing. Yeah, that's it. That's how you get better. So Icy Hot, right? I know me and you, I believe, talked about this a while back. So Icy Hot is kind of, I want to say it's Sub-Zero. With a little bit
it's a mix of Sub-Zero and Cayenne.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Exactly. Yeah. Which is a great name, by the way. I like that name.
Sub-Zero, Cayenne, Matrix.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Mixture of those 3 girls. 3 teams.
So it's a question now: who's going to throw, right? Because you have Sarah Parker is not on the roster.
Yeah. So you're going to have
Emily Carrier could throw.
No, I believe they go with Geneviève
Fortier. Okay.
Yeah, I believe that's their quarterback.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
And she last time she threw a couple times for the spring 2025 when Sarah was gone to China, and she also threw in fall 2024 for Sub-Zero. She threw 6 games, so she did have stats too. 1,561 yards, 39 touchdowns, 3 INTs in 6 games. So she is pretty good. And then I believe her team that she usually plays with is the Wildcats. But is it a step up from Sarah? No. Is it a step down a bit? But I think they should be fine with the core that they're bringing.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it. You have a lot of veterans. Like Emily Carrier, who could also play quarterback. She's going to be a snapper. I imagine Jasmine Farmer. It's on the team. Sarah Cormier, Tamara Juno, Virginia Juno, Virginia Obomanar. Like a lot of these ladies have played together before. They're not new to this. They know what they're doing. I'd be surprised if they don't make a deep run. I look at Chaos. So obviously, I made a new best friend. So Allison Sobel, the quarterback for Chaos. She's telling you and I after her championship that we were kind of meeting her on the podcast, and I know she says her mom watches. So shout out to her and her mom for watching. We appreciate the fact that you guys watch. In all honesty, pulling for you ladies again. Like I had told her to her face, like we're friends with Emma, friends with Gigi and that. Phoebe, pulling for you ladies. So again, same thing this season. Returning pretty much the same squad. Like I said, Emma, Gigi, Hadi, Gabrielle Poisson, Marilyn.
Yeah, it looks like it's the same roster.
Yeah, it is exactly the same roster. Yeah, shout out to Lemieux and Maryland as well. So I mean, listen, it's everyone in one division now, right? So you can't play in the lower division. They're in the best of the best. These girls know what it takes to win a championship.
Something to say in this division, right? So it's 3 divisions because that's how the girls signed up. So you have girls that signed up for 1, 2, and 3. I believe from what I was told was Turf Titans,
and She Sparks,
and I want to say The Rock signed up for women's 3.
Okay.
And you have in between the pack, you have Wolfpack and Mercenaries, I believe, signed up for women's 2, and then you have McGill, Chaos, and Icy Hot that sign up for women's
one, right? Yeah.
So what they're gonna do is that there's gonna be two playoff formats where you're gonna have a 1 and a 2, and I believe the teams that are going to be in 1 are going to be Chaos, Icy Hot, and McGill, and then the other teams are going to be playing in a different playoff format.
Oh, okay, that's really interesting. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So it says if you look at playoff breakdown, it says the women's playoff will be divided into 2 carries after the regular season is complete.
Right.
So how the games are going to work and how the schedule works is that the teams that signed up for women's 1 aren't going to play versus teams that signed up for women's 3. They're only going to play versus teams that sign up for women's 2. So you don't play Icy Hot 4 times or Chaos or 5 times. At least you kind of can like play Icy Hot, McGill, and then
more your level. Yeah.
That's fair. Pack or mercenary.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That makes sense. That's how you get some parity. You mentioned the team, the Rock. I'm looking at the roster now. Emily DeRoche. She's a really good player, good snapper. Lorianne Poffey, I've seen play a bunch. So there's one girl on the team. So Chantel Chippy Brown. I didn't see her in the fall season, but I kept a ton of her games over the last couple of years, especially in the winter. She's a baller. She is tough. She has great hands. She's good on defense. I'm excited to see she's back. Anne Riopel, a lot of other players. Alexandra Falcan Korb, I've seen play numerous games. So I'm liking this team. I'm liking this team, The Rock. I know, obviously, like you mentioned, Quaysie with the different playoff format. It's going to be interesting to see where they fall. But I think this is definitely a team that can make some noise come the postseason. I'm just wondering who's going to be their quarterback. I don't know if it's going to be Lorianne Potvin or what the case may be.
That's a very good question. I don't think it's going to be Lukian. I think they're going to go with probably someone else. I believe the Rock is also a team that at the women's senior nationals, they end up winning the lower category division. I believe. They will not. I believe they won the lower women's category.
Okay.
For women's nationals. But I don't remember who was the quarterback throwing for that. But I don't think it's going to be Lukian. I know she does like to throw, and that she's been kind of throwing a bit, but I don't think it's going to be her. But you never know; it could be surprising.
Okay. So, question I have for you quickly before we go to co-ed: do you see Icy Hawk kind of continuing that Sub-Zero, Cayenne, perhaps Matrix legacy? Do you see them adding some of those players adding to their championship total, or do you see someone else taking it?
I'm not sure. I think it depends on chemistry. Because one thing I have to give, like, I would want to say Chaos is probably one of the best teams going into this, just because the chemistry and the group of girls that they've been playing with for so long. But again, Icy Hot, it's like you have a bunch of girls that are super good, and you're kind of just mixing them in together, you know.
Some of them have played together though, for Icy Hot.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you have 3 girls that played on one team, 3 girls that played. Right. It's kind of like offensive wise, it can be a bit iffy for quarterback. Defensive wise, sometimes you're used to doing this, doing that. Is 10 games going to be enough for them to kind of adapt and kind of get used to us, you know? Or they're going to need a bit longer. So that's like the only issue I have with AC Hot. Again, you have from top to down, I believe they have 8 girls on the roster. All their 8 girls pretty much are ballers. All of them kind of ball out. But just is the chemistry going to be there when push comes to shove? You know, when they're going to have to play. I believe it's McGill and Chaos, and those are the 2 teams I think. So when push comes to shove, if we get an Allison that's on fire, and don't get me wrong, Chaos has an amazing defense from top to bottom. That they're excelling right now. So if you get a fire Allison that's throwing dimes and she's on point, and then you get a Chaos defense that's playing lights out, and you have a struggling Icy Hot because the chemistry's not there, is that enough for them? Is chemistry going to be enough for not having enough chemistry? Is that going to be enough for them to win a championship, or is it where it's going to struggle? You know, because 5-on-5 it happens fast. If you have a slow start, you're down by a couple scores, you can't come back.
Okay, so I agree with everything you just said there. I like to point out to Allison again. We're saying if you guys are winning, both sides are operating on both sides of the ball. I think your dog agrees with me as well. This is not us saying they're going to lose the game because Allison's throwing a pick. That's not what we're saying. I got accused of saying that a little too often. And I think you did as well
Yeah.
last season on the podcast. I was like, you just won a championship, but you're so thin-skinned. But whatever, it's all good. Nothing but love for the ladies and chaos. But so I agree with what you're saying about again. Icy Hot runs into a team with more chemistry. My thing though with Icy Hot is top to bottom, the roster I think is better than everybody else's in the sense that they have more playmakers on both sides of the ball. Now, chemistry is a real thing. Don't get me wrong. It's going to take a little time to nail that down, right? But I think they have more big time players from the top to the bottom of the roster versus the other teams. It's kind of what I'm thinking.
No,
We'll get Icy Hot over the top.
yeah, I get what you're saying. That is 100% true. But when it comes down to it, when you're at the big stage, just say a finals, so we get a chaos and icy hot,
Mm-hmm.
it takes just a few bit of mistakes where it's like icy hot maybe is the better team,
Right. Yeah.
list like name wise, but chaos is the better team chemistry wise.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's
So
fair.
I don't want to say icy hot's gonna like automatically win, right? I think Lori is also an icy hot too. I believe. Again, there's a couple girls that are gonna be an icy hot that we don't even see right now. Because right now,
if you're telling me that Lori Willette's on the team, I mean that's kind of hammering my point home a bit more. Right?
what I'm seeing is like right now there are there's eight girls.
Yeah.
I think Lori said she was playing ice hockey. Maybe she changed it by last second, but maybe she was an add-on.
Oh, she did say that during finals weekend. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, we'll see.
It's easier, but again, Lori's a team that she's been playing. I believe she played with some of these girls as well too. But again, it's like it takes time. Like I'm not all these girls they've been playing for a while, but it takes time, to kind of get used to everybody. So my point is it 10 games enough time plus maybe a playoff game to go into a championship? Because I feel like
we'll see.
Again, there's three teams. No offense to McGill. Again, McGill's a team that's kind of getting their footing in with their roster. I just think they're not going to be one of the powerhouse out of the three teams. I think they're going to be the third team coming into this. And again, for them, it's a learning experience. They're kind of adding new teammates. They're trying to make something at McGill like a bigger thing for there. But regarding Chaos and Icy Hot, I just think they both have different similarities that it's gonna we're gonna see what's gonna happen between both these teams. So I'm giving Icy Hot versus Chaos in finals.
Oh yeah, that was gonna be my pick as well. To be honest with you. All right, fair enough. All right, let's hop over to Co-Ed 3. 5 teams, 4 make the playoffs. I'm looking at a lot of new names at least. Big Steppers, Vicious and Delicious, not a new team. Incredibles, Route Runners, and the Mavericks. Round up things here in Co-Ed 3. A couple of familiar names. So I'm looking at what team? Big Steppers right now. So I see Jasmine Rossi's on the team. Kevin Pierre, a couple familiar names over here. I don't know how this is going to shake out.
Yeah. Again, it's Co-Ed 3, right? Some of these, Co-Ed 3, you have some new players as well too.
Yeah, a lot of rookies
into this. It's also a team that Kevin Pierre.
Yeah. I remember him. I know who he is.
So again, you never know what's going to happen. It's to a point where a lot of these, when it's like tier 3 or Co-Ed 3, you never know what you're going to get sometimes, right?
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, for sure. Looking another team that caught my interest right now is the Incredibles. So I know there's a team back in the day in FPF used to be called the Incredibles. I enjoy kind of whipping on them. But this team has Adam Malinoff. Again, we talked about him earlier. So Nick Zaharatos, he's a guy who's been around for a while now. He's a playmaker on both sides of the ball. Sometimes he plays to the quarterback as well. I've seen him playing co-ed this past season. Devin Sandler as well. A couple of familiar names on this team. A couple of rookies as well. So looking at the sisters, I imagine Catherine and Kaylee Belanger Besner. There's also Nelly Malo. So it's going to be interesting. I assume. Let me double check before I assume. I was going to say I think Malinoff is going to play quarterback because for some reason he's only rated as a 76 at quarterback. Just want to see though if 76 can throw in his division. I don't believe he can for Co-Ed 3, but I could be wrong. Co-Ed 3, Yeah, quarterback cap is 70, so Malinoff is not going to be throwing, but he'll be playing receiver, which is fine. He's a really good receiver as well.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see this division shaking out?
I, I really don't know. I like Incredibles for the guys that they do have, but all their
Mm-hmm.
females are new players, right? So it's players that I have no clue
Yeah.
to know about. The only team that I kind of know, let me just look at route.
Yeah, I've seen runners before. I've seen them play. He's
Um,
decent chemistry. They're decent
and
squad.
then I feel like the most,
Some of the
for some
players.
reason, I want to say the most experienced team might be the Mavericks. They're probably going to be the youngest team, but experience wise, it's going to be probably this team. I feel like you have Phoebe, you have Maya, you have Freda, you have
Yeah.
Xavier Quaysie, Jake Roberts. You have a lot. I think it's a bunch of guys that kind of play flag. I think in the younger age, maybe like U17, U18, around those lines. So maybe they're probably going to get coached as well too. It does help a
Okay.
lot when you do get coached. One thing you also take advantage in
Yeah.
quad three. I don't think there's going to be that many athletic guys where you kind of could take advantage of certain teams, certain situations, and
Right.
you want to
Right.
make sure the females are really good. Just off the bat, you have Phoebe and you have Mai. You have two probably upcoming girls that are going to be pretty much
Yeah.
stars coming to this league. So just those
Yeah.
two help a lot. And then you have the veteran, probably Xavier Couture,
Sure.
sorry, might even throw, and he's not bad. He's not a bad thrower as well.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
thrown for division. I want to say A, and also for
Yeah.
Quad
He's still in a couple different
He's
divisions.
through a
Yeah.
couple of games as well too. So I mean, usually Mavericks always usually have a struggling season. It's something that's been happening often for them. It's practice, right? I
Yeah.
think they're probably going to be the most prepared team, and I don't want to say maybe most athletic, but kind of the team that knows what they're doing off the bat.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I know Ethan Villanozzi. He's a good player. Talk about Frida Lugano, Jake the Snakes. So all the old school wrestling fans. Is Jake the Snakes on the team as well? Jake Roberts. No. So anyone over like 35 right now listening to this podcast, like, yeah, Jake the Snake. All right. Anyways, because you mentioned Jake Roberts, look it up if you don't know who I'm talking about. Fantastic wrestler. Yeah. So okay. So yeah, no, I agree with you. This team is going to be fast. They're going to be athletic. I saw them play some variation of the squad in the winter season. They have some young studs, and I don't know. You can't really call a girl a stud. Studess. What do you call a lady athlete? Uh, that's a stud. Baller, I guess.
Yeah,
They got some ballers, male and female on this team. You know what? That's actually gonna be my pick to come out of Kuwait 3 here. Is Mavericks.
Mavericks. Okay, so we're on the same
All right,
page.
there you go.
We'll be
Kuwait 2.
Quad two.
All right. So we have 5 minutes left here. Let's go through this quick. Kuwait 2, 5 teams. Sorry. 8 teams. Sorry, 8 teams.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
pretty much.
They all make the playoffs.
Yeah,
Your favorite.
I hate that. That's one thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say your favorite exactly.
I don't like that at all. No
All right.
buys either. You know, it's like you're playing. It's like you're playing for position, but like end of the day,
Yeah.
you be a bad team, have bad thing, and then also
Yeah.
you're the 7th seed, you beat the 2nd seed. It's like, anyways.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump ahead in this one. I was gonna say Mixology, and they won the co-ed 3 championship 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna say they're gonna continue again. They won it and they were missing like a ton of their players. So I'm gonna say they're gonna make another run to. Did they win? Sorry, am I talking? Am I?
Yeah, they
Okay, they won. Yeah, sorry. So many games that the weekend.
play versus Vultures because Vultures.
Thank you. There you go. Yeah. Phil Roberts was like, "Oh, we lost that game on purpose. I was throwing bad passes on purpose."
Yeah,
I
I don't know. We had a whole discussion to.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the team wanted to lose, and then they're like, "No, we didn't want to lose." But,
Yeah. You got small. And Mr. Lodge is my pick for making the finals, and I'm gonna say I like Double Dip. So Ashley Longin, who's been on the show a couple of times, she plays for Double Dip, but I'm gonna go and say Michael Scott's Tots.
Ooh.
So Michael Scott's Tots and Mixologist is Mixology are the 2 teams that make the finals.
I'm gonna go with no pads, no helmets if everyone shows up.
Right, yeah, that's fair.
I feel like it's such a slow in this division. I don't think anyone's gonna be able to do it. And I'm also gonna go with the same thing. I like Double Dip. I know they play in different other divisions. They're getting better every season. So I like the veterans in them. And I know they're just going to get better every season. So I'm going to go with Dalton.
To look at the roster, so I don't see Ashley's on the roster, so that may change my decision because she's a playmaker. Nathan Tran's there. Vincent Richard, I've seen him play. I like him. He's a good player. He's a good player. Camille Bergeron, she could ball. Emmanuel DeRoche. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my two teams. I think Double Dip will make some noise. I just don't think to be able to beat Mix Solange and Michael Scott's Tots. I think it's their time to finally get over the hump and win something.
Oh, also a pretty good team too is Tea Party. Tea Party is not bad. With Ben, Dante, Emma, Leah, Laura.
That's true.
Natayo. So that's also not a bad. That's also not a bad team.
I'm also looking at a Flagzilla. So I got my main man Richie Mondesir, who just won Defensive Player of the Year. I think in Division D, he's on this team. Alex Zalipsky, I can never pronounce his last name properly. He's playing in a bunch of different divisions. Diana James Landry, I've seen her play a lot. She can ball. Yeah. All right. Well, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens in this division. Yeah. Co-ed 1. There you go. Final division of the night here. 5 teams, 4 make the playoffs. Lego My Flag is there. Fit Squad is there. The Merge, Leguer Took, and Kiss My End Zone. So Kiss My End Zone, I guess since the departure of the main man Iggy, they've had Alexi Dubois quarterback. He is not the answer.
No. Quarterback. Well, I think they have for Kiss My End Zone. I think they're going with Jimmy.
Yeah, so Jimmy Lee. So yeah, and John Lee is on the team. So Alexi obviously with his sister Erica. They got Gigi on the team. Isaiah Lard. Rachel Shea. Yeah, I'm liking his team. But it depends. See, this is the thing with Jimmy Lee. Again, another quarterback who falls in love with the deep ball and will start just chucking balls into double coverage just because he likes to chuck balls. And then if he has the lead, he's a good quarterback. When he doesn't have the lead and he's behind by 2 touchdowns or more.
I don't know, man. Just the winter.
Oh, I know. I've seen him, my friend. I've seen him play plenty of times.
Winter. They played barbecue chicken, right? They had Tam, they had Jimmy.
Yeah. And they still lost. And they still won the championship.
They're up 18 points.
Yeah. You know what happened in that game? Yeah. I think it was backfield penetration. They came back and then they turned barbecue chicken into one-dimensional team where Jimmy had to toss deep balls all game and they sat back and picked them off. That's a Jimmy Lee Janvier that I know. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. We'll see what happens. This is a talented squad. Just say Barbecue Chicken was a damn talented squad with Isaiah Lard. He was on that team as well. When push comes to shove, my friend, I'm just saying he will throw some picks at the worst possible time.
It's gonna be interesting this division too, because to be honest with you, everyone's still pretty good. I think if you're Les Grands de Tout, that's a very weird roster to kind of look at. James Drysdale, you have Anthony Drysdale, you have Alex. I believe Alex is going as quarterback this season. So
okay, he can run. He can run as a quarterback. He runs a lot. He runs a lot as a quarterback.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big step up for him. And then again, remember, one team is not gonna make playoffs, so it's gonna be interesting. And then you have the powerhouse, the Merge, and I guess Lego My Flag are probably the 2 powerhouses I would want to say. And then Fit Squad's always like in between in the middle. So then
it
depends what kind of games you get from Jimmy, right? Who shows up for that team? But they could be a very deadly team too. They have a lot of names that we kind of said too. They have a lot of good athletes, so it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting season to see who's not gonna make playoffs. If I had to guess it off the bat,
as an Ashley, exactly.
I would want to say Fit Squad.
Okay.
Just because I don't think just kind of looking at the roster. I don't see any guys that are like top notch. Regarding the guys, the girls I don't know as much, but regarding the guys that you see from other teams, the names that you kind of see. I don't see any big names, from the other team like the Merge. I think Jerome is still playing on that team as well too.
I will say so for Fit Squad. I mean, I've seen this team play a lot. Chloe Corbet, she could ball. She's a player. Celeste Archie, I've seen her play a million times. They have like the ladies on this team, even Frederick Chevary, I think that's how you pronounce her last name. These ladies can ball. Don't let the fact that the ladies fool you. These ladies can ball. They come to play. There is a lot of chemistry with this team. The majority of them have been together for a long time. Yeah. So I mean, Sarah Cormier is on his team as well. I'm seeing. Salim, I can't pronounce his last. I think it's Tai or Tay. I've known him. He's a good dude. He's a playmaker on this team on both sides of the ball. Don't sleep on him. I agree with you. I think the one team who's not going to make the playoffs will be Fit Squad, just because I think they have a deep roster. But when you compare it to the merge, to Lego My Flag, obviously Kiss My End Zone, and even Legera Took, I think the Fit Squad has the weakest roster. No disrespect to their players, but I think they have the weaker roster compared to the other four teams.
Yeah.
So I see them not making the playoffs, unfortunately.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm trying to get at.
Who do you have making the finals? And who do you have winning?
I'm just gonna go with the Cateo. Lego My Flag versus the merge for a rematch.
So just to let people know, Quaysie plays for Lego My Flag. At least your name's on the roster, so I assume you play for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously you're gonna pick Lego My Flag to win the championship. I mean, unless you're just some kind of turncoat. Now we're gonna smoke to the championship and we ain't winning nothing. This is horrible. I'm looking at the squad right now for the merge. I mean, you guys have a deeper squad. They have a good squad though. Jerome, Lori, so Murray Joel Vandal. I've talked about her time and time again. Remy Legault, underrated player. Sarah Mo Matthew, obviously with Jerome. Coralie Leduc, Victor Boutin. I mean, it's pretty much the same team that's added. I believe Mary Joel Vandal, if I'm not mistaken. Has she played in the merge before?
And they lost Jerome though. Is Jerome on the team? I'm not sure.
No, Jerome's there.
Yeah. So they didn't lose it.
Jerome's on the team. No, my bad. Yeah, I know. So sorry, my bad. Mary Joel Vandal played for them in the spring as well. My apologies. In the winter season as well. Yeah, I have those guys against you guys for the championship. I'm gonna give you guys some extra motivation. I say the merge are gonna win a championship in co-ed 1.
There you go.
All right. So that's all. That's it for all the teams in the FPF Junior. Again, like I said, there's Adam, Bantam, Midget, Mosquito, and Pee Wee. It's always great to see the kids coming out and play ball, boys and girls. This is how you FPF is a feeder system. Let's be honest what it is. And a lot of those kids who play tackle want to play somewhere in the off season. So fantastic for them, or even during the season. So I was just trying to get the kids out there. So have fun, kids, obviously. 116 teams, 5v5, 6v6, women's, men's, co-ed. This has been a longer episode than I thought it would be, but this is our preview show. Shout out to any last words?
Just that. So since this episode, sorry, bless you, that's my dog. Since this episode's coming out tomorrow, I guess latest, probably Friday. FPF is actually launching a new website, so it's going to be kind of new. It's supposed to be a bit easier. Hopefully, we don't have the ads. I know that one thing that's probably the most annoying thing is to kind of see the ad thing at the top. But just to let everyone know that we're kind of launching a new website, so things might look a bit different on the good side.
Yep.
And just that for this season, for going into this I guess it's spring?
Yep.
No, fall. Oh yeah, it's during this fall season. To make sure you get your 5 games played. I know we had a couple issues in the spring season that just kind of happened where teams kind of were trying last minute. They're kind of saying, oh yeah, well, this person couldn't do it like months in the game back in June. She was not here, but she was there. So just make sure you get your 5 games played. Make sure everyone's kind of prepared, because the worst thing you kind of want to do is forfeits, right? We kind of saw a lot of forfeits because we had a lot of players that weren't able to fill a roster of 5 players or 6 players, whatever that situation. And it came to the fact it's because they didn't have their games played. So make sure, guys, for this year, just make sure you guys get your 5 games played, or you guys have a clear doctor's note, and don't wait last minute or send an email last minute and kind of say, oh yeah, well, we sent the email, because that doesn't help the situation, because you'd be surprised that there's a lot of teams and a lot of people that actually do that. So that's something that we like to avoid. So
yeah. No, for sure. And also, I know one thing, obviously, you and I being scorekeepers, a lot of times we'll get those emails from Mo or from Ben where teams like, hey, back in week 3, this player says that they were there. It's like week 7 or 8 right now. I'll be honest with you. As soon as I go home and I upload the games, I forget about them for the most part. There's some games doing this podcast or writing articles this year I'm running for tier 2 that I'll remember certain games because this is for what we're doing here. But if it's like for a team like that I'm not covering or what have you, like I'm not gonna remember if you showed up a month and a half ago or like 3 weeks ago. So make sure, like Quaysie said, If you're not there, get a doctor's note. It's 5 games to qualify for the postseason. So begging the league to let you get the extra game played. Also, same thing for jerseys, right? Jerseys, I know week 1, week 2 is hectic. Some teams have gotten their jersey order in, some teams haven't, or some teams are waiting for their order to be delivered. Try to have the right jerseys, and you need to have a number, right? If you don't have a number, your stats won't be there. You technically you're not allowed to get the game played either, and it's a pain when you come up to the scorekeepers like myself. Hey, bro, you know me. But you don't have your jersey number, unless we're like really, unless we're, I'll be honest with you, unless we're friends. Say I know you. I really don't care. So I'm not gonna give you a game played. So please show up with a jersey, and with a jersey with a number. Doesn't ideally the same color as your team, but at least if they're wearing blue and you have a black one, it's not the end of the world. It's fine. We'll give you the game play. But if you're showing up with I don't know, a white T-shirt or a wife beater, which I saw somebody in the playoffs, it was awesome by the way, wearing a wife beater, and their team has, I don't know, like orange jerseys. No, you're not getting the game play. So show up, go and get a jersey, get a T-shirt printed. It's not expensive. You don't have to go to Sportera if you don't want to. I feel bad saying that. They're sponsored, but it is what it is. Get everything printed and figure it out, or borrow a jersey from somebody, borrow a jersey with a number from somebody, and figure it out, because the scorekeepers, it is annoying. And we want to make sure you guys get your games played, because it sucks to not be able to get a game play, especially if you drive all the way to a field.
Yeah.
You play your game. It's time consuming, right? To take time for your schedule to be available for games, but not to get the game play because you forgot your jersey at home. Pack yourself the night before like I do, or pack it in the morning like I do sometimes as well. Make sure you're prepared. We're all adults here, right? It's not FPF Junior. We're all adults. Our parents aren't going to pack our stuff for us. You got to do it for yourself. It's not a rant. I'm just saying, again, jerseys are a pain. As a league, we try to give you a little leeway week 1, week 2, but honestly, you should have your act together. Show up with your stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, like Quaysie said, new website, new format here for the podcast, new design. Shout out to Ali Reza for putting a lot of that together. Ali will be away on vacation. He's leaving us for 2 weeks to go to Greece. Selfish Ali, can't do the podcast from Greece. So thank you for Ali for helping us with this episode tonight. I know you're probably like, guys, you need to shut up. I've been working way too long here. Enjoy your vacation, sir. All right, there you go. So if you want to send hate mail, send it to somewhere in Greece for Ali Reza and his girlfriend is staying. Ali Reza said he can't do the podcast because his girlfriend would kill him. I say he's a coward, but whatever. It's all good. If I could do it from Jamaica, he could do it from Greece. I like to throw people under the bus and kind of drive it forward and backwards and forwards again. Yeah, it's good times. Good times. NFL season starts Thursday. I'm super excited. I hate the Cowboys. I hate the Eagles even more, but football's back. I'm very excited.
Yes,
what
sir.
about you, Quaysie? Good times. Good times. It's good times. Quick shout out. I have another podcast, as you know, the 514 show. I did a football NFL preview show this morning. Rayhan Sawar, one of the referees, was on the show with some other friends. So if you want to check it out, the514show.com. Go check it out. It's on Spotify. It's on Google, Amazon, Apple Music, all that stuff. The 514 show. Awesome podcast. The episode comes out Thursday morning. So stay tuned. I think that's it, dude. I think we're done.
Yeah, I think we're done. Yeah. So
right.
Good luck to all the teams this season. It's going to be fun. Not as many teams we were saying, but again, still a good amount of teams. Still a lot of championships to be given. A lot of awards to be given as well too. So just go out there, ball out every single day, and get what's yours.
That's it. And before you get what's yours, make sure to follow and like and subscribe on the FPF YouTube channel. Everywhere else you get your podcasts. We are very close to reaching all-time numbers here at FPF. Thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Every week we come out and we do this. It's for you guys, so hopefully you enjoy it. And yeah, it's great to be back. We had about a week, 2 weeks off. Feels good to be back. I know your dog feels the same way. And yeah. All right, so sure. For Ali Reza, Quaysie go to Maule. I'm Brent Bodkin saying thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week. We're back.